We want to give a big thank you to another fine sponsor here at the Saratoga Springs Horse Show for speaking of horses, Source Nutrition. Wonderful micronutrients, additives, and essentials from Source. They harvest seaweed off the coast of Maine, refine it for micronutrients, and come up with wonderful Source nutritional additives and supplements, horses and dogs and the like. Please, a big thank you to Source. Look them up at 4Source. That's the number 4, SOURCE.com. Thank you to Source for being one of our sponsors. Hey, speaking of horses, we're in Saratoga Springs. We're at the Saratoga Springs Horse Show, and we're ready to kick off the third week of events right here, Saratoga Springs Horse Show, running 3 weeks this year, and it is the 56th annual Saratoga Springs Horse Show. 56 years of this show. It's gone under a couple of different names, but it's here, it's strong, it's 3 weeks long this year, and that wasn't intended to be a poem. But we're here early in the morning, we're getting set up, and we're going to be ready to go in an hour or so. So we're going to give you this early morning report. We've got a hunter ring behind us that is not underway yet, but will be. What we want to do is give you some of the results from the second week. You know, we had some very interesting classes, some classes with some wonderful prize fund, and we want to run some of these down for you. Class 409, the USHJA National Hunter Derby, had 25 entries. It was a $2,500 purse. And first place went to number 252, The Graduate, owned by Nancy Van Inwigen and shown by Jenny Fisher. We also had Class 400 in the second week. That was the $30,000 David Wood Grand Prix, 19 entries. Again, a $30,000 prize fund purse, and first place of $9,000 went to number 27, Phoenix Royal, Joseph and Mary Tyree, the owners. Catherine Tyree was in the irons. We had Class 401, the SJHF High Junior Amateur Owner Jumper Classic with 8 entries, a $1,500 first prize, and that went to number 237, Q2, Katie Gray, the owner and the exhibitor in that particular class. And Class 402, Low Junior Amateur Owner Jumper Class, the Classic with 13 entries, $980 first place in this class. Went to number 29, Castes HBC, Cadley Holdings LLC, the owner, and Addison Giernick was in the irons and won that class. We also had the class number 325, our Welcome Stakes, 1.40 meters. $2,250 was our first prize. To number 318, Twan, Missy Clark, the owner. Julie Wells was the rider and in the irons. And we had class number 600, Best Child Rider. Number 272, Cure the Blues. That was Alyssa Talpost. And Best Child Rider Pony was Abigail Brayman on Cover Mead All About. And then our USHJA Pre-Green Incentive Stakes with a $375 first prize went to $195, No Doubt, Elizabeth Phillips, the owner, and shown by Fifi Schmidt. And those are the some of the high-paying classes, including a $30,000 event, and that's the way it came out in week number 2. This is week number 3. We've got a guest we're going to show you. We're going to show you some action footage from week number 2, and There'll be reports all through the rest of this week here on Speaking of Horses. A big thank you to the sponsors making it possible, to Revitavet, to Owl Manor Veterinary, and to Source Nutrition, helping to sponsor Speaking of Horses, being here at the Saratoga Springs Horse Show. Right now, let's go meet my guest for this morning, and then we're going to show you some footage. So thanks for joining us, Speaking of Horses, here at Saratoga Springs. We want to take a moment here at Speaking of Horses to thank one of our fine sponsors for our coverage right here in Saratoga at the Saratoga Springs Horse Show, Owl Manor Veterinarian. Now, they bring new life to animal health. Talk to your veterinarian about the possibility of using Owl Manor Veterinary Services. Point of care convenience, natural drug-free therapy, collection and treatment in under an hour. Collecting blood from your animal, from your horse, processing it, putting it back into joints and areas that need healing properties. Talk to your veterinarian about Owl Manor Veterinarian or omveterinary.com and using this process to improve the health of your animal. A big thank you to Owl Manor Veterinary, a sponsor for Speaking of Horses here at the Saratoga Springs Horse Show. Hey, speaking of horses, beautiful Saratoga Springs, New York, Saratoga Springs Horse Show. Tom Cusin is my guest. Tom, you're the head of the Capital Fund, which runs this show. So first of all, welcome. And second of all, it's great. I love being back. It's just a lot of fun.
Well, thank you, Wayne. We appreciate you coming back. This is our 56th year of running the show, and the weather couldn't be better.
Oh, compared to last year especially, man, this is like we're bouncing off 80 degrees every day, sunny. Just in the 2 weeks we've been here, the leaves have all come out. You couldn't order up better weather. This is fantastic.
This is definitely not a normal thing for here at Saratoga, because we usually experience all the seasons at one fell 2 week period.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Yeah. Well, you got a great show, great competition, 3 weeks this year. So, running 3 weeks of competitions, which really gives the exhibitors a chance to come out and do a whole circuit right here.
Yes, the 3 weeks was basically requested by them, and we're more than happy to accommodate them where we can. And so we've been very fortunate that they've responded, and there looks like a very good third week coming up.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, the people that benefit from this are the people that benefit from the Capital Fund, right?
Yes, the bottom line here is that we're a charity organization. We raise money to give back to the people in the county who are helping others. And so we're hoping that this additional third week will help us help that process even along more.
Well, I know you do a great job with it. You got vendors, you got 3 rings, the jumper ring, which is right behind us. We have the 2 hunter rings and the food concessions, and you're just into a little bit of everything, aren't you?
We are. The only thing we're lacking right now, we could always use a few more volunteers.
Well, I hear you. But Tom, it's a joy to do this, and of course we have the Saratoga Horse Expo coming up in September.
In September, right following the meet itself here in Saratoga, when the meet shuts down there right after Labor Day, we're going to do the expo here at the same location, right on the track. It looks to be a really good event. Wayne, you're involved with help planning that process, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and this year we're going to do some things like a trail challenge and a drill team competition, and a lot of ways for people to bring their horse out and be a part of this thing.
That's right. Not only be part of the thing with your horse, but give the people who come out to visit some entertainment and some opportunity to look at a variety of different types of horse or equestrian type events.
Yeah, a lot more things to look at and watch as the spectator. So, Tom, I know you're busy, and I thank you for stopping by,
much, Wayne.
catching me on camera. And we're Speaking of Horses, Saratoga Springs Horse Show, and we will see you a bit later on. And we want to give a great big thank you to Revitavet. Wonderful product. Sponsoring Speaking of Horses here at the Saratoga Springs Horse Show, Revitavet, equine light therapy, assisting in promoting faster healing of injuries, muscle pulls, and the like. Also used as a wonderful warm-up if you're a barrel racer, a jumper, an eventer, or the like. Revitavet was meant for you. A big thank you to Revitavet, wonderful sponsor of Speaking of Horses TV, here at the Saratoga Springs Horse Show.
On the way down the show for the adults.
Here's 253, round one for Monet and Jerry Ann Hart.
So we have 2 laps, and now before we prepare to move on to the children's and the adults in the power and speed, and this will be at number 68, Mr. Cash Vanderbilt. You know, my Ellis is showing 60. 1 to go after that.
.341 on the second pony course of the large ponies. This is Encore, written by Sophia Mojic. 341. Down to 3 trips, now to finish with the large ponies. 3 trips will jog, and then go under saddle. And then on to the small, medium children's ponies.
The score in the second round of the adult classics for Swiss Miss and Robin Harkins, score 68. To round the final total, 150. Fourth, 150. The Washington score for
Typically he hurt his knee, so it's all big and swollen. Now I'm he's like taking care of the fucking
the other Washington ride is number 137. Here's number 92, this is the first course in the adults for Le Chasseur, and then written by Mary Case, number 92.
and wait for the